Hey everybody, how you doing today? Welcome to another episode of the Save Point Show. I'm your host, Sid 6.7.
I'm Titchery.
Your Pandora.
And Kazan 143.
And again, we are the Save Point Show. We make up the Six Broadcasting, and we have a very special guest tonight. Unfortunately, we don't have a video feed from him, but he is here live with us. Nick, Rune Slayer. Yeah,
that's me. Hello.
Game developer and lead director, project director for the new game coming out called Empyrean Rule. We are so happy to have you out here tonight. Thanks for coming, man.
Thank you very much for the invitation.
So, how's everybody doing today? I know. For Nick, it's way early in the morning, and it's kind of late at night here for us. But how are you doing? How are you holding up?
Well, I have my tea here. I don't have my Red Bull, but I think I'll make it. I think I'll make it.
Awesome. All right. Well, we usually go around. We talk about what we've been playing today. Being a developer and a designer, a game designer, and a project leader, I imagine you don't have very much time to play video games. But do you find some time to play now and then?
That's a good question. That's true. I don't have enough time to actually play games. I'm a hardcore gamer. I love games, but since we're preparing for our Kickstarter, which is going to launch early April, we've been working very hard on that, and there's really no free time to do anything else. However, when I can steal some time, I love playing strategy games, RPGs, and sim games.
Cool.
I love Sword of the Stars. I don't know if you know it. Star Drive, Sins of a Solar Empire, Dragon Age, of course. Skyrim, the not the online version, but the single-player version. Yeah, I don't like that. Civilization and XCOM. That's
Cool.
the kind of games that I like.
That's cool. Awesome. Well, again, thank you for coming and being with us tonight.
Oh, thank you for inviting me.
Kaslin,
I'm very glad to be here.
Oh, no problem, man. Yeah, and just we're very, very informal around here, so just we'll with some of the news things, just hop in, and if you have something you want to say, just hop in at any time, man.
Sure thing, thanks.
Kaslin, what you been up to? What you been playing lately?
I've been playing WildStar. I hopped back in. There was a 10-day retrial of the game if you were a subscriber, or even if you weren't. There was a free trial of the game, 7 days, whatever. I think I told Titch about it, and she was in the process of downloading it, but I guess should have turned it off or something. But I like the game. I just wish it wasn't as fast leveling. And I went back actually and played a little bit of EverQuest this week as well. Yes, the original EverQuest, because it was the 16th anniversary. 16 years I've played that game. That's ridiculous.
Man, I remember I was on a call with you, and all of a sudden I heard your computer go on, and I heard that epic EverQuest theme music in the background. I'm like, that sounds familiar. What is that? I know this game. I know this. It's EverQuest, and yeah, we were playing EverQuest. So
yeah, they're actually
nostalgia.
putting out another time lock progression server, and it's gonna be out. I think this summer, I believe, is what they were stretching for. But what it's going to be is every 4 months now is going to unlock an expansion. So I'm really looking forward to that. Going back to the corpse runs, the experience lost, dead bodies everywhere. That's great.
oh, the corpse runs. Yeah, we talked about that a lot on this show here. Yeah. Well, that's cool. Yeah, you got to keep us up to date on the EverQuest questing and such like that.
questing.
Questing, yes. Pandora, what you been up to, man?
I let ladies first. I'll let Titch go.
Oh, I've been playing Destiny.
Yes,
Dun, 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 dun.
Titch just bought Destiny last night.
Retro's probably going to go crazy. I don't know that he realizes that I actually started my character on Destiny, and I made a hunter. I'm going to go with a blade dancer subclass. Jeans is in the chat, I see, and she they're all like, you should play Destiny. You should play Destiny. And I thought, all right, Destiny, Destiny, no escaping that for me. So I basically got it last night. And I played for a little while with Sid and another friend of ours and had a lot of fun with it. I've also been playing, of course, my Sims. But I've also become kind of sort of addicted to City Skyline. That one's, it's
Yeah, I'll play that.
fun. It's a little challenging, but it's really fun. I've enjoyed that one. And some Dragon Age Origins, the Ultimate Edition. So that's what I've been doing.
Cool. I forgot to say I was playing Warframe too.
Oh, Warframe. Oh, that's a good.
Oh, yeah, I remember you were playing Warframe. Yeah. Oh, and Caslin, I did do WildStar, but things are like crazy with our internet, so I didn't get on. So
Yeah.
sorry.
No big deal. You know, I know how it is with you guys with your internet right now. I know the whole situation. Same thing with Pandora. You know, I know his, but. And I know Brunhoff has been wanting to play 7 Days to Die with us for the last, I think, 5 days since he bought it. Since we've all been telling him about it, and now he goes out and buys it. We haven't bought it. We haven't played it with him yet.
we'll definitely play. We'll play here real soon, Brunhofer. But also, Brunhofer, I know that you're really excited for Titch playing Destiny because I know you love that game so much, and you're not raging in the chat right now.
I'm just raging a little bit.
I made a joke the other day, Brune, about sending you a clan invite to the Destiny clan.
All right, Pandora, what you been up to, man? How you been?
I've been actually playing. I've been playing some Abe's Odyssey, man. Yeah, I really like indie games. I guess that's why I'm an indie artist because I like the indie scene. Although I do like a lot of the AAA titles, there's just something special about these, the indie games. And that's why I'm glad we have Nick here today. So we can
Yay!
really fanboy out a little bit today on this show. But yeah, I've been playing some Abe's Odyssey. Playing some. I did play a little bit of some Destiny, just to kind of get back into it a little bit. But and that's pretty much been it for me this week because same as you guys. I've been experiencing some severe, internet issues, getting about 3 megabytes per second speeds, which doesn't help gameplay. Yeah, doesn't,
Those are OP speeds right there.
Yeah, I think that's slower than dial-up, isn't it? Sheesh.
I think it is.
I think it is.
Yeah,
you might be better. I hate to say you might be better off with dial-up.
I think I probably would be at this point.
Just make sure no one picks up your phone.
Yeah. Hang up.
All right, we're coming in for the kill, and hello, no. Oh, I remember those days. Those were fun days. So. Oh,
Indeed,
cool.
and that sound.
Oh my gosh.
When it was connecting.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Who can forget that?
Well, I hope your internet troubles pass you by real quick here, and everything gets situated for you, man. So, let's see, what have I been doing? I've been in hermit mode. I apologize, everybody. I kind of didn't do anything as far as streaming this entire week until 2 hours beforehand. I've been playing City Skylines as well. I get really into that every once in a while when a good sim comes out or a simulation city comes out. I've been playing that. I've been playing the indie game that came out for free on the PS4, Ollie Ollie 2. Welcome to Hollywood. That's actually really fun. That's really, really cool. It's really simple and just straightforward. And it's a 2D scroller skateboard game. And what else have I been playing? Oh, I dust off my Steam program and re-uploaded Team Fortress 2. So I started playing that. I might be streaming that sometime. I got to get my chops back on playing that. I used to be really, really good, and right now I feel like a noob. So I'm too embarrassed to actually.
You'll always be a noob in my eyes.
Oh, thank you, Caslin. Thank you, Caslin. Yes. Okay. Well, next time we'll play Team Fortress 2. Just remember that when the arrow is sticking right in your head, right there, with my bow and arrow.
That's all right. When my turret starts bowing you down with rockets, it's fine.
What else have I been playing? Oh, I started playing Max Payne 3. Now that was an awesome game back in the day. I decided to dust that off. I finished it on normal a long time ago. I started playing on hard now, so I can get through the game, maybe get to hardcore mode, and start playing that a little bit more. So. I've been playing Destiny, been playing that off and on, been playing Grand Theft Auto. Yes, as Slicker did mention in the chat that we do have a Grand Theft Auto crew, the Styx crew for Grand Theft Auto. So if you'd like to join us in Grand Theft Auto, just hit us up with a message and such like that. Yeah, hockey, Surgeon Simulator. I definitely want to get that. It's like 95 cents on the PS4 this month. I'm definitely going to grab that, and I'll play some Surgeon Simulator since I work in neurosurgery, so I guess that's right up my alley, right? So okay. So we've got a couple of things to get through today. Again, we have our guest Nick here, and we'll be getting to we'll hear all about his new his new upcoming game, some information about that. In other news this week, Nintendo has just announced plans to release their games on smart devices. But if you're worried that the company is going to be all mobile, fear not. Dedicated gaming devices are still Nintendo's primary focus, and to assure people of that point, Nintendo CEO, I'm going to try not to butcher this name, Satoru Iwata, has teased the company's next-gen hardware. So not only are they're starting to put on their games onto the mobile devices, your tablets and such like that, they are now basically announcing their new console. Nintendo is currently developing a, quote, dedicated game platform with a brand new concept under the code name NX. In addition to this little teaser, Iwata said that Nintendo hopes to reveal details next year. So sometime next year we'll hear all the details about it. Iwata's full statement about the upcoming hardware. Quote, Nintendo has decided to deploy its video game business on smart devices, but is not because we have lost passion or vision for the business of dedicated video game systems. On the contrary, now that we have decided how we will make use of smart devices, we have come to hold an even stronger passion and vision for the dedicated video game system business than ever before. Nintendo has made this decision because we have concluded that the approach of making use of smart devices is a rational way for us to encourage even more people around the world to recognize the great value and wonderful game software available on our dedicated game systems. As proof, Nintendo maintains strong enthusiasm for the dedicated game system business. Let me confirm that Nintendo is currently developing a dedicated game platform for a brand new concept under the development code name NX. It is too early to elaborate on the details of this project, but we hope to share more information with you next year. And those were the quoted words from Satoru Iwata. So next year we'll be hearing about maybe a new console coming out. That's interesting. I'm wondering what they're going to do. I can't even really fathom on the next improvements that they're going to be coming on the next Nintendo system. So, what do you guys think of that?
You want me to go first, or you want?
Sure, go. Yeah, go for it, man. Jump on in.
I'm at the point where, and I was talking to you guys about this before when I found out that AMD was actually making new chips for a new console that was going to be slated to be 2016. When the release was. More information was going to be released. So I kind of figured it was definitely going to be a Nintendo system, because that means their Wii U is going to have a shelf life of 5 years, which is what it is. I really want Nintendo to come out swinging out of this, because I don't want them to make another mediocre system that's just gonna be like, where it just doesn't hold traction. And a lot of people are saying, well, they don't have to make this graphically intense, powerful system, and they just want to make them just relevant. Well, I'm sorry, this needs to be Nintendo's punch back into the console business, because they're getting dominated by PlayStation, who sold 20 million units. They're getting dominated by Xbox, and they're gonna get dominated by Nvidia Shield when it comes out. The Nvidia Shield probably sell 10 million units pretty quickly, where the Wii U took 2.5, almost 3 years to sell. It's under 10 million units. So for Nintendo, I think that they really need to come back and swing out, right from the box. Right out of the box, just start swinging. They need to get their third-party developers back, and they need to make a system twice, if not 3 times as powerful as the consoles that are out now. Really push yourself out of the box and make these other guys have to do something to compete with you now. Because if Nintendo doesn't do it this way, if they go back to the old way where, we're just going to make it an okay mediocre system, they're not going to sell anything.
Yeah, it's been up to this point. Every time you hear the news, it's always Xbox, Microsoft, PlayStation, Sony. But Nintendo's just been kind of in the corner, just doing their own thing, not even really getting into the fight and all that. So they've really been kind of shadowed over the 2 other giants. And I think that they're doing okay. But I think it would be interesting to see them, getting into that fight. See what the new stuff that they can come out with next. So.
Yeah, I mean they're they're just getting into. And I'm not saying 10 million units is bad being sold,
right?
But it's nowhere near what they could be selling if they had the third-party developers that they. And that's what I'm saying. You think about it. Nintendo has all these first-party developers that are great. All the Marios, the Pokemons, the Zeldas. All these things that we as kids grew up loving because they were around, since early '80s. So you figure you have all those on a console. Plus, then you get the new Call of Duties that come out, the new Dragon Ages that come out, the new Mass Effects that come out.
Yeah.
All these great games are going to be on this system too. That would push. You know what? I'm not going to buy a PlayStation 4. I'm not going to buy an Xbox One. I'm going to buy the new Nintendo system because I know it has all the games I like. Then it has all the other games that are coming out for all these from these third-party developers. And not only that, if they could grab a lot of these indie artists like Nick here, putting Nick's game on their console as well, that'd be great for their business models. And people say, well, they're going mobile too. The mobile is going to be more of a taste, a sweet tease of what they're going to do with the system. So it's going to be like everybody's like, Pokemon, the Pokemon. I don't know what it is for the mobile system that people complaining that it's a buy-to-play game. But that's probably what we're going to be doing is because they're going to have DNA. They bought 10% share in DNA, who's going to be doing all the mobile development side of it. So if they're doing that part, I really wish that they come out swinging. This is my biggest hope for Nintendo because I don't want what happened to the Sega to happen to Nintendo because I think the whole industry as itself needs Nintendo to stick around.
On the other hand, like I said before, is like they've been kind of under the radar, just kind of sitting back, watching the 2 other big giant consoles duking it out. This Nintendo is a smart company. I mean, they've always been a smart company. They know who they're selling to. They know who their audience is. They know what games to present them. This whole time with them being quiet is just probably them learning, just seeing what ammunition they could use to come out with the next gen console. So I'm hoping that's what it is. I think I'm hoping that's what their game plan is. And then like Slimmon said, Nintendo will fight a little on E3, but I hope they just come out the door swinging.
Well, they need to.
Yeah, absolutely.
To be honest, they need to because listen. I know last week I seemed like I kind of harped on Nintendo a little bit, but the reason I harp on Nintendo a little bit is because I think Nintendo is so focused on Nintendo. It's the mentality of, hey, we know we've got Mario, hey, we know we've got Zelda, hey, we know we've got these titles that are Nintendo exclusive titles, and they're banking on that. And they have great success with those titles. You can't even dispute this fact. They do. And I refer to it as their cash cows. I mean, they know that this is going to make them money. They know this. They rely on this. What they're not doing is looking beyond those properties, which is what Microsoft and Sony have done. They not only are looking to their exclusive titles and their home developed studios like Microsoft Studios, Sony, Sony Online, Entertainment, and things like that. They know they've got their in-house developers, but they've done something a little differently, and that is included other developers. Sony especially got it right this time by allowing so many indie developers on their console. And I saw something today, guys, just before I came into the show. PlayStation has already dropped a little bit of a hint that they're already working on the new PlayStation 5, just right after the mention of Nintendo's new console. So it's about to get interesting.
Yeah.
It's to get interesting because I think when Nintendo makes a move like they just did, it makes the other two guys kind of shake a little bit too, because Nintendo is really good about keeping things quiet about what they're working on. And I think it makes the other two companies just a little nervous because Nintendo is inventive when it comes to their technology. They do kind of push the envelope and try to do things that other consoles. I mean, look at the Wii remote. I mean, PlayStation and Xbox did come up with the motion sensor. The waving of that came from Nintendo.
Absolutely.
And it came out of nowhere. Nobody saw that coming. And then, of course, came the Kinect, and of course the iCam and stuff from PlayStation to try to catch up to what Nintendo was doing. So this is probably a really good move for Nintendo, but what they need to do is they need to really step up the game to include the things that these gamers want, which is more indie titles and more AAA titles that are not Nintendo exclusive. They want to play on the system, but they're limited in the games that they get for the system. So if they expand that, I think it's really going to be good for Nintendo. And if Nintendo does that, it's going to scare them other two.
Well, and like I said,
Nintendo's a brand name.
Like I told you guys too a couple of weeks ago that, like Xbox One and PlayStation 4, they're not really truly next-gen consoles. You could say that they are, but look at their hardware. Their hardware really isn't next-gen. If they would have waited a couple more months before they announced the hardware that they were going to put into it, they could have made it next-gen. So that's why I think PlayStation's just kind of scared, because all the technology that there's disposal right now. I mean, we saw the NVIDIA Shield, what that 256 core chip that they have in that one little system, and how tiny that thing is. Imagine if Nintendo puts 4 of those or 5 of those into their new system. There ain't a prayer in hell that these other two systems can compete with that.
Yeah, that would definitely be interesting. So, Titch, do you have anything to say on that? To add on that? Or?
Not really. It sounds interesting. I'm going to sit back and wait and see what happens.
Yeah, I think that's all we can do right now. So, I mean, so sometime next year is when they'll announce that. So,
Nick, any words?
Yeah.
Well, I have to be honest with you. I'm a PC lover. I'm a PC fan. So it's not like I have too much experience on consoles. So really, I don't have anything to say. I've been always playing games on PC, and I bought Xbox, the first one, just to play Assassin's Creed, I think. And yeah, exactly. And that there was a game. What was it? Final Fight or something? Fight Night. What was it? With boxing,
Okay, yeah.
That's the only reason why I bought Xbox, nothing else. Because I wanted to play Assassin's Creed immediately. I mean, the first one, back then.
Yeah.
And I never used it again. I don't know. I just don't like the games on consoles. I don't know. As I said, I'm more strategy player, sames and things like that. And you just can't find those on a console.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Well, that's cool. I mean, again, we'll have to wait for whatever Nintendo has to offer. So hopefully it's big stuff. So so up next we do have Titch's tips, or is it news? I'm sorry. Titch's tips. Oh, I skipped down on my thing here, so I was reading the wrong thing. So yeah, what do you have for us today, Titch?
Well, I'm going to talk about some of the emotional system in the Sims 4. In image number 1, it shows a few of the emotional colors the Sims 4 brings with it, the emotional system. Emotions can boost a Sim's performance in skills, careers, social, and romantic interactions, as we all know. They can also be negative and limit the things a Sim can do, such as when uncomfortable and needing sleep. While most of us strive to give the Sims positive emotions to improve their performance, negative emotions happen. If they go too far, they can cause a Sim's death. So, we'll discuss soothing those in this guide. However, you may enjoy the Sims dying from their emotions. It does create some good storytelling.
That's creepy.
It is.
It is. It can be a little creepy, yeah, and it's even worse when the Grim Reaper comes in. But you can basically get those negative emotions to kind of soothe them down and be able to get if they're tense, get them to blow off some steam to ease their tension. They may also lead to fights or other negative events if they're angry. So negative emotions and how to ease them. Image number 2 shows several ghosts who have actually died from various emotional overloads. Emotional deaths. Keep in mind, not all of these are bad, but primarily angry. It can lead to good mischievous interactions, and criminal boss needs it to make enemies to advance in their career. That's only the positive part about that, though. Many of these can go beyond the first level and result in a Sim's death. So, if your Sim gets too emotional, take measures right away to reduce it, or else, like I said, they'll die. So, if they become angry, angry Sims can become more angry when Sims who hate children are around them, or else being in an argument with another Sim. Seeing your significant other flirt with another Sim can also cause this. In order to soothe it, you can use the calming chamomile tea. Nick would like that. Tea. Or work out your frustration with a punching bag or take a cold shower. Angry Sims can be given to an aura to paint an angry painting, which can also in turn create more angry Sims. So be careful with that. If unchecked, they will die. Bored. Not many things trigger a Sim to be bored, but it's easy to overcome simply by putting your Sim in another mood. So you can use the tea maker to make them energized or anything other than bored. You will do this also by reading a book that will actually kind of inspire them or challenge them instead of a book that maybe they've read 4 or 5 times. Repeating some interactions in conversation over and over will also cause a Sim to become bored. So make sure that you're, kind of getting them to talk about other things. In image number 3, our Sim has been dazed. With the dazed emotion, eventually you will die from this if you try to repair something electronic while you're still dazed. This happens when they get zapped by a electronic item. So, and they can also be dazed when a comedian can make other Sims dazed by using a weaponized joke.
A weaponized joke.
Yes, a weaponized joke. Yes. So your Sim becomes embarrassed by being walked in on in the bathroom, or sometimes something will happen. They'll lose their control of their bladder. If your Sim becomes mortified, you really need to hurry and get them into another situation to calm that emotion, because mortified death is actually somewhat the more common way that a Sim will die. The simplest way to resolve this is to click on a bed and have them hide from the world. They'll put the sheets over their head and they'll just lay there for a few minutes. Sad Sims have a low social need and may find themselves sad. If a Sim gets too sad, it won't lead to death as previously thought, thankfully. There's a sad hotline to help prevent the Sims from becoming too sad. And Sims who are sad usually are because they're grieving their former family members or friends or things like that. But don't let it go too far because it's too hard to really get them them out of that sadness. Tension, again, like I said, commonly from a low fun need. Simply doing anything fun will reduce that tension. Tense can come from working too hard or doing something that causes a fire or talking to somebody that kind of aggravates your Sim. Use the mirror to calm down, take a bubble bath, those types of things will help calm it. In image number 3, our Sims are very uncomfortable. Uncomfortable comes from several low needs, namely hunger, bladder, energy, hygiene. Additionally, Sims may feel this way if they are dirty or if they're around dirty surfaces or trash. Picking up any of those things can help resolve the need. Cleaning the house will help. It all depends on the source in this case. Image number 4. I will go over, this basically kind of gives us an overall look of what the Sims are. And the Grim Reaper, he's not somebody you want to see. So next week I'll go over various potions in the Titch's tips. And until then, happy simming. Like I've said, if you have any questions, you can contact me through stixbroadcasting.com or titchery@stixbroadcasting.com. Thank you.
Awesome tips, man. Thank you so much. Now, I have seen in your game when you're playing, you've tried to befriend the Green Reaper. So there are instances where he's just kind of milling about.
Yeah. If you befriend the Grim Reaper, you actually get an achievement. It's called My Old Friend, and you can actually get some pretty cool. When a Sim dies, if you beg for their life, he's more likely to spare the Sim's life.
How exactly can you befriend the Grim Reaper? Seriously, by sending
say,
souls?
Hi, Grim, how are you?
Oh my god!
Sitting. Well, as far as the Sims, you can just sit down and have a beer with him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay, makes sense.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yep.
No, we're not gonna woohoo the Grim Reaper, Slicker.
Actually, you can with the Grim Reaper, and you can procreate dead babies. So
That's what?
Really
Procreate.
disturbing.
Okay.
It is disturbing.
All right. You heard it here first. Save Point show. You can procreate dead babies. Awesome. Wow, I'm uncomfortable.
sorry.
That's okay. It's okay. Oh well, thank you for that again. So again, guys, if you're just popping into our show, we have game designer and project leader Nick Rune here with us today. He is helping design and produce the game Empyrean Rule, which is a really cool new PC game coming out. Do we have a date yet?
Not yet. Not
Not yet?
release date.
Okay, but hopefully very soon, right?
Well, yeah,
Of course.
Of course, obviously.
Obviously.
I'm not gonna say soonish,
Okay.
as Blizzard says, but yeah, it's gonna be soon. It's gonna be soon.
Well, Nick, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, man?
About me. Okay,
Yeah.
what can I say about me? I can tell you how I started doing what I'm doing right now.
Sure.
So, when I finished my master's, which was on marketing, I worked for a year as a financial advisor. I can't say that I felt quite happy with that. So then I decided to start my own company, a trading company. It went very well with tremendous success. And I soon opened my own production unit in Istanbul. During that time, I also worked as a consultant on various projects. But again, I felt that I wasn't happy. It was like I felt an emptiness inside. I always thought that if you're able to make your hobby your job, then you can be truly happy. So I decided to form a very small team and start working on games for other companies. That is not our own IPs. To make a long story short, I'm very glad that I actually made that decision because in 2008, recession struck really hard and it had a heavy impact on my company, which I decided to close after a few years to focus entirely on making games. Since then, we have worked on several games for other companies, with the last one being Battle Conquest, an MMORTS web browser game with 400,000 registered users, more than 3 million gameplays, and over 5 million online battles played. At this point, I'd like to say a big thank you to our great community. Without it, we wouldn't be able to achieve what we have achieved so far. So a big thank you, and we love you guys. The company behind Battle Conquest at some point decided to close the game. It was exactly then when I decided to create our own IP and take things on our own hands. And then Imperial Rune was born.
Cool.
That's believe me, that's the short story.
Yeah, I can imagine there's a whole bunch of stuff going into that. But wow, I mean, tell us a little bit about Empyrean Role. I know we have a trailer, a new trailer from you,
Yeah.
and we'll show that in a little bit. But tell us, for the people who don't know anything about Empyrean Role, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, as I say in a sentence, Lord of the Rings meets Evil 9. Now, what is that? In a sense, we're trying to combine two genres into one. So it's like trying to make two separate games into one. On one hand, we have a massive persistent world where the players can free roam with their armies and interact with the environment, such as cities, trading caravans, roaming AI armies, etc. Guilds can be formed, and guilds can conquer regions on the world and start building their empire. That involves, of course, regional improvements, resources and resources management, production, diplomacy, trading, espionage, etc. The economy is, of course, player-driven, so supply and demand will affect the prices of raw materials and products in the game world. We wanted to create a world where every action of the player can and will affect the game world, and this is very important for us. On the other hand, of course, we have the 3D real-time battles, and that's what you're gonna see in a few minutes. That's the video about. It's about an underground battle, an ambush, actually. So players can create their armies, choosing from a big variety of races. I'd like to mention here that there are no racial restrictions when creating your army. That means that in a single army, you can have units and heroes from different races, but since not all races get along, players need to be very careful when creating their armies. So, for example, if you choose to have units from two races that hate or dislike each other, then penalties will be applied to the army's morale, and if those units fight close to each other, then you may even see them charging each other. On the other hand, if an army is consisted of units strictly from one race, then the army will receive bonuses. Now, in regards to the armies, there are different types of units and heroes, such as light infantry, heavy infantry, ranged units, cavalry units, engines, flying units, etc. Then, of course, we have heroes, as I mentioned, who are divided into casters and close combat experts. In the video, you will be able to see one of those heroes, Naya the Firekeeper, who is a caster. Now, all units and heroes have different stats and abilities, and of course their own lore and progression. The battle itself It's not an arcade battle, but has in-depth mechanics such as fog of war, morale, flanks, endurance, weather effects, ground elevation, um, and many other things. So it's not a matter of just clicking somewhere, attacking, and oh, I'm stronger, and yes, I can win this fight. You have to play tactically. You have to find ways to take the advantage. Now, we will have single-player battles, co-op, PvP, and different modes such as Total Annihilation, Survive, Destroy, Protect a specific object, Capture objectives, and several other stuff. And that is only the surface. That is only the surface.
I'm really excited for this game. So let me show the trailer.
Sure.
It's a pretty it's a good length trailer here. Anything we need to know about the trailer before we go into it?
No, nothing.
Okay.
I want you to be surprised.
Oh, be surprised. Okay, so this is basically a premiere, almost a premiere here. So yeah,
That's correct. That's correct. We haven't made the press release yet.
this is awesome. So okay, sit back, guys, and enjoy the trailer here.
Hi all, my name is Rune, and I'm the game designer and project leader of Imperial Rule, Rise of the Ancients, an online real-time strategy game where players assume the role of a general, recruit units from various races to create their armies, free roam on a massive persistent open world where they can interact with other players and kingdoms, form guilds to conquer regions, and create an empire with an in-depth empire management system, which includes trading, production, diplomacy, espionage, etc. You can learn more about this game by clicking the link on your screen. In this video, we're going to show you the progress we have made in the real-time battles and review one more feature of the game, underground battles. So let's get this show started. So I'm going to present to you quickly the units I have selected for my army. This is my hero, Naya the Firekeeper, a spellcaster with several interesting spells such as Fireball, Gate, Slow, and Bless. Iron Fists, my heavy infantry unit consisted of veteran dwarves wielding huge war hammers and wearing heavy armor made of Thorium. Hill Giant, a mighty force in any battlefield, if he doesn't get confused when you give him an order. Hopefully he's feeling smart today. A unit of Gargs with some special abilities which can give the edge to a player if used correctly. Darkness, Acid Speed, and Petrify.
Yes, General.
My swordsmen, human light infantry, which are not as powerful as a heavy infantry unit, but they can get the job done. All shiny. And finally, my cake thrower, a dwarven catapult which throws cakes, and trust me, they're not filled with ale. It's going to be an explosive surprise for the enemy. Now, when we played this battle, I didn't know what to expect, so I wanted to proceed very carefully and protect my flanks at all times because I didn't know where the enemy would come from. Since this is an underground battle, there is limited visibility, so I always wanted to keep my troops as close as possible to minimize the effect of a potential ambush. As you can see, I'm moving my heavy infantry units and light infantry units first, followed by the rest of the units. I put my heavy infantry units
listening.
in front.
Yes.
Kick
What do
forward
you want us
first.
to do? Indeed.
Giant. Yeah, he moves slowly but steadily and loudly. Heavy infantry units are
Yes,
almost
General.
in position.
Yes, General. Yes, General.
Moving carefully.
What do you want us to do? Indeed. Aye.
Heavy infantry units
Aye.
moving forward.
Yes, General.
As you can see, I'm trying to cover the paths, the various paths ahead.
What do you want us to do?
Yes, General. Yes, General. Yes, General.
Protecting my flanks by positioning 2 light infantry units, 2 swordsmen, on the right and on the left. My iron fists are covering the paths
I'm
ahead.
listening. Yes.
Yes, General. Yes, General.
Aye.
Yes, General. Yes,
1
General.
light infantry unit there.
Yes, General. Yes, General.
As I'm moving,
What do you want
I'm
us to do?
covering all paths, as you can see.
Indeed.
Almost in position to proceed further and deeper into the cavern.
Aye.
And
Aye.
moving forward.
I'm listening. Yes.
Yes, General. Yes, General.
Carefully, as always.
Yes, General. Yes, General. Yes, General. Yes, General.
Aye.
I'm listening. Yes.
I don't know.
Is it Twitch?
Probably try that.
Yeah, try that.
No, just came back up.
Yes, General. Yes, General. Yes, General.
What do you want us to do?
And panic. I was expecting incoming enemy forces,
Aye. Aye.
so I immediately
Aye.
tried to create a defensive position there.
Aye. Aye. Aye.
Trying to cover
Yes, General. Yes, General.
all sides.
Yes, General. Yes, General. Yes, General. Yes, General.
I'm listening. Yes.
Yes, General. Yes, General. Yes, General. Yes, General.
I see no incoming enemy forces.
Aye. Aye. Aye.
Yes, General. Yes, General. Yes, General.
Yet I'm trying to create a better defensive position there by positioning several units in
I'm
several
listening.
positions.
Yes, General.
What do you want want us to do?
Kick throw, of course,
Yes, General. Yes, General.
just in case.
I.
Moving forward,
Yes, General.
just a little bit.
Yes, General.
All right, lads. Here they come.
And contact. See an enemy unit. So I'm expecting trouble to come from that position. So I decided to use my guard's ability, Darkness,
Yes,
and
General.
blind them,
Yes, General. Yes, General.
trying to buy me some time to reposition my units.
What do you want us to
Yes,
do?
General. Yes, General. Yes, General.
I'm listening.
So we can see 4 enemy units in total.
I'm listening.
What do you
And they're
want us to do?
moving towards us.
Yes, General.
I'm listening.
We're well covered. Lurkers, Illyrian with handguns, ranged unit. Goblins, who are moving to engage my heavy unit. A big mistake, of course, for them. Illyrian scavengers. Light infantry unit. Against my heavy infantry unit. Dwarves.
I'm listening.
Casting spell. My iron fists.
I'm listening.
The Black Widow, a giant spider, is trying to web my hero, so I decided to protect her. Moving my third heavy infantry unit to flank successfully. As you can see, my hero is webbed.
Don't make us run after you.
My giant attacks when the enemy unit breaks. No need to pursue,
What do
just
you
in
want us
case
to do? Make us
more
run after
enemy
you.
units are coming.
I'm listening.
Yes, General. Yes, General.
Repositioning my units to cover the gaps. The Wreckers are still shooting my troops. So, moving my guards in to use their special ability Acid Spit. I can see that Wargors are trying to outflank me. They're probably going after my hero,
I'm listening.
but I have something special for them. So first I mobilize them, and then I use Gate. And gotcha.
I'm listening.
What do you want us to do? My favorite part.
My kick throw should start shooting. Miss. And then, damn it,
What do you want us
bad
to
hit
do?
on my
My
iron
favorite
fist.
part.
My giant is doing his crush ability.
I'm listening.
We're doing okay on this flank. Another bless.
What do you want us to do? Indeed.
positioning my catapult. More enemy units. On my right.
Yes, General. Attack! Yes, General.
Counter charge by my swordsman. And a direct hit by my kick thrower.
I'm listening.
Moving to attacks with my heavy infantry unit.
Don't make us run after ye.
And Black Widow broke.
I'm listening.
What do you want us to do? My favorite part.
Changing targets.
They're running away.
Goblins broke as well. Sending my giant to God damn it. I'm getting confused.
Yes, General.
My heavy infantry unit was ready to break. He used the rune of attack. And they managed to break the enemy. And as you saw, another direct hit by the kick thrower.
I'm listening. Yes.
My light infantry unit broke, so I'm going to cast a fireball spell.
They're running away.
Help them out.
Us run after ye.
And miss.
I'm listening.
That's no problem. Sending my Iron Fists.
Attack formation.
Finish them off. It seems that we have cleared the battlefield. We won. Well, that was an awesome battle. We hope you guys enjoyed this battle gameplay video as much as we enjoyed it. We are launching our Kickstarter early April, and we need your help to make this game happen. So subscribe to our newsletter by clicking here to get notified and gain access to Kickstarter exclusive rewards, as well as to newsletter rewards. Thank you for watching.
Well done.
Wow, that was cool. That was cool, man. Alright. Well, that got me really pumped up for this game.
Oh yeah.
That was cool. Man, yeah, you told me there was going to be leaps and bounds with the new trailer, and like you were not kidding, man. The graphics look incredible.
Yeah, we were working hard on improving everything, the mechanics, the graphics, everything.
That's awesome. So Kickstarter's starting up in early April. Excuse me.
That's correct. That's correct.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to this. Did you guys in the chat, if you have any questions for Nick, feel free to shout them out, and we'll let you we'll get them as they come up.
We do have one.
What was that? Did I miss it?
Someone asked, what will the price of the game be? And is this only for PC?
No, it's not. It's going to be for Mac, Linux, and PC, and the price hasn't been decided yet.
Okay.
But it's not going to be your AAA title like 50 or 60 or whatever. Obviously, I think it's not going to be more than $25.
Oh, cool.
That's crazy.
Wow.
I would've-
That's amazing.
See, I definitely would have paid 30, 40, 50 bucks for that game. No, I mean, AAA title worthy. I mean, just the way it looks like a AAA title.
And it can only go up from there. I mean, you guys are still working on it, right? So
Of course.
Yeah,
Of course.
I mean,
that's not the
final.
That's not the representation of the final product. Definitely not. Definitely not.
No retro. Unfortunately, it does not look like there's a PS4 release for this game. So
No, not yet.
no,
I mean,
sorry.
we have people.
Oh! He's telling us there's hope.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
Not yet.
Because I mean, people even ask us, whether we're gonna have a web browser version of the game. So yeah, we're obviously exploring all possibilities, but the release is gonna be on PC, Mac, and Linux in the beginning, and then we'll see.
Right.
Definitely could expand.
For
Yeah,
those of
exactly.
For those of you who also don't know, Empyrean Rule was also featured on Law and Order SVU, a couple was it last month or so? The episode was on that.
Yeah,
That
a few
was
weeks
pretty
ago,
cool.
that's true.
Yeah, oh
Yeah,
yeah, a
that's
few
true.
weeks ago.
That's true. I mean, to be honest with you, when the contact was made with the producer, I didn't believe it. I thought it was some kind of a scam. Yeah, really. But really. But in time, and after an agreement was signed, I was like, well, our game will be on Law and Order. Interesting. So we prepared assets for them, sent them out. They sent a video and images back from the set, and we were quite excited. Then
That's
we
cool.
watched the episode, and Imperial Rule was shown maybe for 4 frames, 10 frames. but oh well, at least we were in, right?
Right.
That's all that matters, right?
Exactly.
It takes
So
that
that
little,
was
little
that was
second
a
of fame.
milestone. That was a milestone for us. That was a
That's.
milestone.
I mean, and what a milestone! I mean, huge,
Yeah,
huge.
Exactly.
Did they explain how they came about your game and why they or what made them want to use your game for the show?
I guess the concept, the graphics, the way we talked to them, because they wanted several games for their set. It was supposed to be some kind of a games fair, and they wanted to have like booths there. I guess they liked our game, and I liked the way we were talking to them, like obviously ready to send assets and do whatever we had to do. We wanted to help them out. I guess that's it.
So, for the attraction of this game, are you hoping to attract like like casual people or hardcore gamers, or both alike?
That's a good question. I believe that Imperial Rule has something for everyone. You can come and play and take your time to develop your general and your army and have fun with it. By playing, PvE battles or co-op battles and never engage in a PvP battle. Or you can be quite competitive and be involved in the Empire and gameplay layer. The game will never force you to do something you do not wish to do. There's no linear, gameplay in this game. You can do whatever you want to do, but if you want to be competitive, obviously you will have to invest time and effort to become, one of the best in the game.
I like that. That's cool. I mean, so definitely something for everyone in there.
Exactly.
Is there gonna be any?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry?
Is there gonna be any like microtransactions in the game to help, like let's say the casual gamers?
We're gonna have an in-game store, but mainly for cosmetics.
Okay.
And maybe some XP boosts or something.
Okay.
But do not expect any powerful weapons or armor. This is not a pay-to-win game.
That's how we like it.
Exactly. We never designed, we never created any pay-to-win games. We don't like that. We want skill to determine the victor in a game. Nothing else.
Nice. That's what I like.
That's our motto, let us say.
From watching the that play the gameplay footage there, I mean, it seems like the developers as well as you may have been big tabletop fans, or is that true?
Most definitely. Most definitely. No, really. Though I regret that I now don't have enough time to enjoy a session with friends.
Yeah.
I have great memories playing tabletop games with friends, such as Civilization, Descent, if you know Descent.
Oh my gosh.
A very good game. Warhammer Fantasy, of course, and of course, pen and paper. AD&D, Vampire the Masquerade, and things like that. Those were the years for me. Great times indeed.
Same here, Nick.
I love
Absolutely, yeah.
I love
I
Vampire
love
the
the
Masquerade.
Exactly,
Yeah.
that was great. Also, the Maids of the Ascension, which was like something. I think it was a sequel or something, or an addition to the world. Werewolf. than the werewolf. Yeah, they did a very good job. A very good job.
Yeah,
And a
White
very
Wolf.
simple system also.
That's another thing that I wish that they would never CCP kind of acts was the White Wolf IP that they were making, World of Darkness.
They were supposed to do that, and then suddenly they canceled it.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know why. We will never find out, I guess. We will never find out.
So you did mention again. You mentioned like the Kickstarter is going to be opening up in early April. When could we expect the alpha testing to start?
Well, we will do the alpha testing in two parts.
Okay.
First, we will test the 3D battles, and then the other gameplay layer, which is the empire management and the world map interaction. Now, as for the time, I will say soon. I want to be very careful here, because in development, you can say one date, and then something can go wrong, and everybody will turn to you and say, well, but you said that date and that didn't happen, blah, 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 blah. So I'm being very careful here by just saying, soon. We should have a demo quite soon.
Okay.
But I don't want to give a date. I don't want to give a date.
Oh, that's fine. No, I
Just
totally
soon.
understand.
Soon doesn't mean 2016, by the way. Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's definitely a relief. When you go into alpha, when we do finally go into alpha, we do have some gameplay or even the demos here. Are you going to ask some of the top streamers on Twitch to showcase your game as well?
Definitely. We want to send a demo to YouTubers and Twitch streamers. And hopefully you're going to enjoy the game as you're going to receive keys as well. And you're going to show our game to your fans.
Yay! We really appreciate it. Yeah, I will play nothing but the game for as long as I can there. I mean, I definitely will do that because I love this. We actually all stream here, so yeah, we'll definitely do that.
Excellent. It's not going to be a demo of the whole game. It's
Right.
going to be like a skirmish. So you can create your army by choosing units and heroes from different races. And then you just go to battle and face an AI army. Every time is going to be different. So every battle is going to be different. And hopefully people will enjoy it.
That's awesome. Do you have any other special announcements to anyone or to all the people that are watching right now? Anything else?
Well, as I said, we're launching on Kickstarter. We already said that, early April. People can go and subscribe to our newsletter because we're going to have some exclusive Kickstarter rewards. And we also have some rewards which are accessible only to newsletter subscribers. We also want to give 4 keys to a test build of the game for your fans. You can send them to I don't know, through a contest or something. It's up to you guys. We were giving you those keys. What else? Yeah, that's about it.
Okay, yeah. We'll absolutely would love some keys to give out to people, and that's awesome. I thank you very much for that.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
We'll do
you.
some sort of contest or a raffle. We'll collaborate and see what we can do.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
I have a couple questions for you.
Sure.
Please.
The market for the role-play game style or RPG style games, and the genre that your game is set in. Of course, it looks medieval. What do you think is going to separate you guys from the pack? If you could really sum it up and say, well, here's our game, and here's why we feel like you're going to love our game, as opposed to, say, some of the other games that they're not identical to your game, but they are similar in genre and maybe some of the gameplay styles. If you were to tell people, okay, and you had, and you were explaining to them, this is our game and this is why we think you would really love our game, what would you say to people?
Very good question. Okay. So first of all, we're trying to do something which is actually, in our view, unique. Obviously, you have games which are RTS. You have games like Dark Omen or Mark of Chaos, Warhammer Mark of Chaos. You have Total War, and obviously you have 3D battles there. So what's so different that what is so different from those games that we believe that players are going to enjoy? Well, here's the thing. As I said, we are combining two genres together. So because we wanted, I mean, we were, as I said, we're gamers ourselves, and we always, play games. We played 3D battles, and it was either a victory or a defeat. We wanted that battle, that result, to actually affect the gameplay. So, okay, in Total War, for example, you win a battle, and yes, maybe you can conquer a region or a city or whatever. Yeah, we want to do that in a persistent, open world. We wanted that to be in real time. We wanted that to be in a massive open world with other players interacting with the environment. Not just a single player experience. We want to have social interaction. We want people to unite under a common banner by forming a guild and have guild battles. Like in EVE Online, we're influenced by EVE Online, where politics play a very important role in the game. I mean, one of the reasons why EVE Online is so famous is exactly because of that, because of the politics between alliances and the backstabbing and diplomacy and trading, of course, and commerce, everything, all of that. So we wanted to create a world which has a fantasy setting with its own lore. We have an extensive lore of the world. Each race has its own lore. Each unit has its own lore. Each hero has his own lore, their own lore. And we want to create stories which will be driven by players. We're giving the base to them. We're giving them something to work on. And then it's up to the players' actions to forge the history of the world. How do you do that? You can do that through diplomacy. You can do that through espionage. You can do that by training. You can do that, of course, through steel battles. We want to provide tools to people to live in a virtual world, into a fantasy virtual world. Right now, there's nothing like that in the gaming industry. You have open worlds on one hand, okay. You have 3D battles on the other hand, okay. But you don't have those combined and with the right tools to create thousands and thousands of synergies, to create a world which is unique, complicated, but not not in mechanics, but like in-depth mechanics that players can use and create a unique gaming experience. So yeah, that's what we believe.
That's awesome.
That's really cool, man.
I mean,
And,
we tried that. We tried that in our previous game, Battle Conquest. Battle Conquest didn't have the mechanics that we are incorporating in Imperial Rule right now. Yet, even with simple mechanics, we could see what was happening. We could see people forming guilds, and there was competition between guilds, and some guilds were cooperating with other guilds, and sometimes one guild would backstab the other guild by doing this and doing that in order to gain something out of politics. And that's what really matters. I mean, think about it. Okay, so you can play a battle. Okay, you're playing the battle. You can make it as complicated as possible in order for that battle to be always unique every time you play.
Right.
Still, that's not what really keeps you playing on a game. What keeps you want to play the game again and again is the depth of the game, is what will happen, the interaction with players. And as I said, we're heavily influenced by the world of EVE Online. It's just perfect. It's just perfect.
Do we have any other questions? I can't keep track of this chat, man. This is just blowing up here.
There's nothing coming in the questions, but I do have a couple of questions that I want to
Yeah, sure,
address
absolutely.
myself. But okay, so yeah, that definitely is a good reason to separate you from the pack. I mean, the more you were talking about it, the more I can see why you think your game, will separate you from the pack. And just from what you're explaining, I have to agree. That's every reason why people should pick the game up, because they are going to get some new experiences. They're going to get a new style of gameplay that are from familiar genres and familiar games, but now you've kind of meshed them together.
That's correct. That's correct.
Creating some kind of a unique way of playing in familiar genres. So you're kind of breathing life back into this. It sounds like to me.
Yeah.
That's what we're hoping to do. Exactly.
Yeah.
We want to create, for example, you're all familiar with Warhammer, the tabletop, right?
Yes.
Okay. Imagine the synergies. Now, when you're creating an army, I mean, when you're creating an army, you are trying to field that unit with that unit, because you want to do this and then that, and hopefully if the enemy does that, then you will do this and that. That's exactly what we want to create. We want to give all the tools to the players to have thousands and thousands of synergies. Now, that's one thing. Now imagine having that while playing with other players in real time, not just in 3D battles, in a co-op battle or in a PvP battle, 3 versus 3, or even 30 versus 30 players. Okay? Now, but imagine that the result of that battle will affect the game world itself. For example, I want to give you an example here. As I said, we're going to have trading. Now, guilds can trade with other guilds. Regions can trade with other regions. How is this happening? They're sending trading caravans. Now, you can harass those trading caravans, and you can destroy the economy of a guild, of a region. And you can create monopolies by actually having access to specific resources that other guilds or other regions don't have. So, as I said, we're not trying to create a spreadsheet, game, but we want to provide all the tools that will create an in-depth gameplay experience for those players that want to be truly competitive. Now, for other games who just want to, take their time and play a battle or help, a guild or whatever, they still have the chance to just go in, go out with their army, create their army, go out and attack an AI roaming army, a raiding party or whatever, and just have fun. So there is something for everyone in Empyrean Rule.
Well, that leads me to my next question then, which is, you're talking about different, stuff for everyone. I know this is probably something we all have discussed this before on other shows and even behind the scenes. But whenever you're taking a leap of faith with a new game, one of the things that I think concerns gamers, especially when they're not familiar with the developer, is what kind of a learning curve can gamers expect from your game? Is it going to be an all new type of mechanics that it's going to it's going to be, they're going to have to put a lot of time in to try to learn? or have you guys kind of simplified, the learning aspect of the game because you have familiar ways of playing, or is there basically, can the novice play this game and come into it never having played any other similar games like what you're putting out, or is it going to be something that you need to kind of have a little bit of experience in?
Well, obviously, as in all aspects of life, if you have experience, obviously you're gonna have an advantage over someone who doesn't have the experience. Having
Right.
said that, in Battle Conquest, our previous game, our previous big MMORTS game, we had players who were casual players. I mean, they didn't know anything about real-time strategy games. They didn't know anything about creating armies and playing against other players. But still, you could see that they didn't have a problem. How can I say that? Learning about the game. And then, of course, and that's the biggest strength of our game, or that's exactly what we want to do, and we have achieved that with Battle Conquest. You have the community. Since you're creating a game which is player driven, then you have players who will help other players evolve. Why? Because they're gaining strength by that new player as well. So we're gonna have several mechanics as well, which will reward players who help other players. But the short answer would be no, we're not creating something that will require, I don't know, 1 month or 2 months to learn the game or be able to play the game competitively. Of course not. Of course not. But as I said in the beginning, if you have previous experience from games such as Dark Omen or Mark of Chaos, or of course even from Total War, then you will feel right at home.
Cool.
Awesome. Yeah. And one last question.
Of course.
And I'm asking because it was presented to me. Do you have any advice for up and coming creators that are wanting to do what you do? I mean, do you have any advice to give to someone?
Well, I follow what Socrates, an ancient Greek philosopher, used to say. En είδα ότι ουδέν είδα, which means I know one thing that I don't know a thing. I mean, I'm still learning, and I believe that we never stop learning. There are no secret ingredients for success. However, if I could give a few advices, I would say this. One, do not be afraid to fail. Because if you're afraid to fail, you will never find out what you're capable of. Two, aim for the stars so you can reach the sky. Nothing is impossible, and if you truly want something, the whole universe will conspire to help you out. That's a real life lesson for me. Now, three, listen to the players, the community. They are the backbone of your game. Don't be selfish. Listen to them. There will always be trolls. Haters will hate, of course, but the majority of the players are there because they enjoy your game and they want to help you and they want to improve the game even more. Four, do not try to please everybody. This is not the key to success, but the key to failure. And last one, be patient. Rome wasn't built in a day.
Well said, sir.
It was built at night. No.
No. It wasn't, trust me. I wasn't there, but I know.
I have a few questions too.
Sure.
Are you planning on incorporating any voice chat or voice over IP service into your game? So like when you go into public battles or something, when you play with those other couple people against, a team of other, an army of other 3 players or something, so they could talk back and forth to each other, or no?
Not in the beginning. not in the
Okay.
beginning. I mean, most of the players, I mean, myself as well, I don't use the in-game systems. I use, something like a TeamSpeak and things like that in order to coordinate with other players in such competitive games. So in the beginning, no, we're not gonna have any in-game system like that.
Okay. Also, this is basically a question for myself. Is I'm a huge, Age of Empire fan and Civilization. And I
Sure.
went through the stages. They went through the dynasties of time, especially the way that they do. Is that something you're doing too? Is in your game as not specifically going through time periods, but just with the upgrades, is that what you're planning on with your upgrade system for your armies and your the
No.
guild and everything else?
No. We don't have any eras or anything like that. What you can do when upgrading your heroes or unit, you're just upgrading some of their stats and some special abilities and things like that. We're gonna have two skill trees for the time being. One is for the general, a skill tree which is affecting things like world map movement speed, scouting, healing time, and things like that. And then, of course, we're going to have the army skill tree, where you can upgrade your units and your heroes. So we're not having any eras or anything like that. That's a different gameplay. That's a different thing. And since you're a fan of Civilization, please don't tell me that you like their latest Beyond the Stars or what that is
Beyond,
called,
the
because
Beyond
that
Earth.
was a huge failure.
Yeah.
I didn't buy it. I was looking into buying it. I tried it when they did the free weekend or whatever.
Very disappointing. Very disappointing.
I wish it was more like the old Civilization games.
Exactly.
But I understood what they did with it, and
Well, I understood as well, but again, it was disappointing. I mean, I understand what they wanted to achieve, but I don't think they got there.
No, and that's the whole thing, and I think that's why it's quickly going on sale easily for $30, 25, and then they have that new one, the Starships, that's integrated with it now too. So I don't know what they're planning on that.
What they're thinking, right?
Yeah.
Because even their new game, that Starships thing, I really don't understand what they're doing. Seriously. I mean, this is Sid Meier, right? So what the hell are they doing? We want something. Of course, we
Sid
want
Meier's.
something deep.
I
Yeah,
agree.
we want something deep. We don't want something which is gonna be. We don't want a commercial product, okay? We want a game, a Sid Meier game, and I'm
That's right.
talking as a gamer, not as a designer or whatever. But I understand that it's a business as well.
Yeah, and that's another thing. We've lost already so many good games in that genre, like Command and Conquer. Command and Conquer General is probably one of my favorite strategy games, and it's nowhere. It's gone. That whole
Yeah.
True.
it's gone. It's just even like Anon 2070. That's the last one that they made besides the online one, and the online one's not too bad, but I want them to release more because I absolutely love 2070. I have the old one, Dawn of Discovery, and I'm a big fan. Like I said, I own a lot of strategy games like that, real-time strategy and building games and simulation type of, and I love that genre. It's not my favorite genre, but that's just, a game genre that I'm passionate about when it comes to the games that are coming out and being released. Like Grey Goo. Grey Goo, nobody thought it was going to be as good as it is, and it was tearing up, review charts everywhere, and people were buying it over Sid Meier's Beyond Earth. So,
Yeah.
Okay. Well, is there any other questions? Anything out there? I mean,
yeah.
Hit me! I'm on fire now.
What do you got? What is your plans for? I mean, I know I feel strongly against this. And I understand it from a developer standpoint. Okay, we all know that money doesn't grow on trees, and sometimes you need that big company's financial backing. But to me, I feel that kind of ruins games as they're being released because of you have to strip something. They don't like that this game is too hard, or so they want you to dumb it down a little bit. So what is your stance on corporate backing right now, like as far as in investment wise?
Yeah, I can understand. I can understand what you're saying. Well, currently there is no external funding, but to be honest with you, we're open to corporate funding to the point that we will not lose our IP and control of our game. We don't want to receive money to create something that on which we're not going to have any control. The reason why we wanted to design Imperial Rule and have our own IP is exactly that, to have full control on everything. We were quite disappointed by some companies that we were cooperating with in regards to how they treated the games that we designed, we developed, and we maintained for years. So we don't want to have that again. Now, the problem is, as you said, that money makes the world go round. And if you don't have the money, you just can't develop a game, even a very small game. And trust me, Imperial Rule is not a small game. So yes, we're open to corporate funding to the point that we're not going to lose our in control of the game. Now, why would we want to do that? Obviously, because it's going to help us out in development. We will be able to work more on polishing, because that money is going to give us more air to do stuff that we want to do. Add more features, and of course more content to the game.
Oh, did we lose him?
Ooh,
I'm here.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. No, he just stopped.
We thought we
Yeah.
lost you for a second.
No,
Oh no, I'm here. Don't worry.
and that's great. I mean, the whole Kickstarter thing, I wish you nothing but luck from. And as
Thank
we've
you.
already seen, there has been some cases where, like, Crowfall has been breaking records. It
Yeah.
hit its goal 48 hours after it released. So I hope that's something that happens to you guys too, because
That is true, but wait. Let us be reasonable here. Why did Crowfall have such very great success? Let's say, why? Because people know them. If you are already a brand, if you are already a well-known developer, let us say, or a game designer, if people know you, then it is easier for people to follow you. If you're not a brand, if they don't know you, then you have to strive to drive people to your idea, to your Kickstarter campaign. And that's exactly what we need to do. Because as we discussed another time, starting a Kickstarter campaign is not always successful. You don't just press a button and you're like, oh, I'm on Kickstarter, okay, I'm gonna get the money, no problem, everything's gonna be okay. That's not the case. That's not the case. You have to work on making people interested in your product, in your game. You need to work on gaining exposure, and that's not an easy thing. And when I say gaining exposure, that exposure doesn't have to come from press. Obviously, if you get press exposure, that's good, but that's of course, but that's not happening all the time. For various reasons, truly, because I've seen things and I've heard more things than. Anyways, I don't even want to talk about that. You know how things are in regards to press and how things work, because as we said, money makes world. Exactly. So yeah, it's very important to try and drive traffic to your Kickstarter campaign. you may have a diamond for a product. It might be something truly unique, but if nobody knows about it, then you're not gonna succeed.
Unless, of course, you're making potato salad on Kickstarter, which I have no
Exactly.
idea. Did
Yeah,
you
that's
see
true.
that? Oh my
Yeah,
god!
I did. Yeah, exactly.
You didn't? Oh, Titch, you didn't hear about that? Okay, so this guy just goes, I want to make potato salad. I need this ingredients. I need $20. Puts it on Kickstarter. He's made like 100,000 something on just for making potato salad.
I think he made 15,000.
Something. I don't know. I was throwing a number out there, but it was like a huge, absurd amount for potatoes for potato salad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I like to announce that I'm going to put my chili recipe on there. And
There we go.
I need $100 for this.
There you go.
I kind of would like to see what you guys think, but how about if we help Nick out by, on our website, we have either a link or the whole page to his Kickstarter through our website, page,
Yeah.
and try to get them more exposure that way. I don't know if you guys up to that or.
I'm down for
I'm
that.
down with that. That's fine.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
As soon as,
We appreciate it.
Videos on our YouTube if they're okay with it, and have their Kickstarter information in the description of the YouTube video and highlight it or something on our YouTube page as well.
And,
and I could do it. I could do another video about talking about the Kickstarters on the YouTube page, and matter of fact, we can say every time we're on the air on the show that we can throw it out there as well, just to try to get you guys more exposure.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and I don't know if you noticed, Nick. I don't know if you're actually watching this. You probably are watching the stream, but I set up this beautiful Empyrean rule background just for you tonight. So it's a little covered up with our things,
I
but
can see.
but yeah.
No, yeah, I'm
Thank you.
totally down with that. That's a great idea.
Yeah, I'm definitely down with that. So
I mean, he's already done a lot for us as far as
Oh,
what
yeah.
he's gonna give us, and again, it's not. We all know, we talked about this last week, Nick, but we're also a small team, so we don't have all the money we can pay with either, So any help that we could do for an indie developer, that's something we want to do because.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
okay. Well, I think it is a great time to actually take a break, and we are gonna do that. We'll be back with you guys soon, and just hang tight, guys. Okay. Let's see, where is it? Where is it?
I get a black screen.
I can't find the stupid. I have
Now you have chat on the screen.
Retro. Did you guys start taking breaks?
Sims 4 Get to Work expansion pack, you can create any type of retail business you want. Magnolia Promenade is a new neighborhood that's the perfect place to take a look at the gameplay around building and running a successful business. On retail lots, you can build and manage stores. Your Sims can sell anything from the buy catalog and items they collect or craft. You can build a boutique. Here you can customize mannequins to showcase your own fashion sense and be a trendsetter. At this bakery, we've added a kitchen here in the basement. The perfect spot to show the new baking skills. You can build a photography studio. Choose a backdrop. Choose models. Capture the magic. And put a price tag on these masterpieces. Before opening a business, you can hire employees, choose their uniforms, and get them to work. As your sales team gains experience, making a sale gets faster and easier. When running a successful business, you'll be rewarded with perk points, used to improve the business savvy of your Sims. And soon they'll be raking in the simoleons. In the Sims 4 Get to Work expansion pack, with new active careers and all new experiences, we're bringing the Sims...
All right, we are back. Thank you guys for waiting for us. Thank you so much. Let's see here. I need to do a little bit of rearranging. So Nick went to bed.
It's
while
3 a.m. where he is.
Yeah, it's 3 a.m. where he is. So we're just going to pick up where we kind of left off. Next up is Pandora's Box, and let me fix the screens while you guys talk about that.
All right, we're ready for Pandora's Box then?
Go
Yes,
for
sir.
it.
All right, so this week I wanted to talk about, since we had an indie developer on here, Kaz, you're going to get a kick out of this week's topic, but I want to talk about this blind loyalty towards AAA games that people, gamers today, seem to have, in which this blind loyalty seems to keep them from noticing games like Imperium Rule. Um, it's like when a Call of Duty comes out, it doesn't matter how bad they hated the last installment of that series, and they complain about it, they still run and pre-order the next version of the game and buy it anyway, because it's Call of Duty. I'm just using Call of Duty as an example because it is a AAA title, and it's established AAA title. Same thing with a lot of the other games. This blind loyalty to these games sometimes causes us as gamers to spend money on games that are really not as fun or immersive or as engaging as some of these smaller indie games that just don't get the publicity, that don't get the press, that don't get the big, publishers behind them. And I think that as gamers, we need to be more open-minded about the games we play and not so blinded to titles that are AAA because we've purchased them before. I think that's why we're getting disappointed a lot as gamers in recent years. I think that's why we have debates on which games are better than others, and what are most of those conversations entail. They entail mostly AAA titles when they're discussed. Destiny is a big one. I mean, Destiny is a game that is on the lips of everybody. It's people love it, people hate it. Call of Duty, people love it, people hate it. It's just that's just the way it is. But you don't hear a lot of gamers discussing these indie games and talking about how much fun they had with them because they really aren't picking them up because they're busy buying these AAA titles and spending $60, then their season passes, and then all the other little DLCs they get with it, and their money is tied up on these AAA titles, not really leaving a whole lot left to financially have to experiment and try some of these indie games. And so I'm kind of putting it out there to you guys. When you're purchasing, what factors do you take? What factors do you use when you want to buy something, when you want to buy a video game? What is it that makes you spend your $60? What is it that as a gamer pulls you in and says, hey, here, take my money? Is it flat out just blind loyalty to an existing AAA, or do you look for something bigger, something more in depth, something that you're really going to sit down? Because I've had fun with games that I've spent $5 on, and had more fun playing some of those games than I have games that I've spent $60 on. So, what is it that gamers are looking for today? I mean, is it the AAA titles? Is it you're really looking for something and fun to play? I mean, what do you guys look for? And that's what I kind of wanted to discuss with you guys today in the box.
Dun, 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 dun.
Well, first and foremost, I need. I don't know why I'm having feedback here. First and foremost, it has to have a scantily clad babe on the front of the box. No, just kidding. What I usually look for is, the hype, of course. I do look into the hype of the publicity of the game. Has it been advertised a lot? That doesn't really sway my decision on buying a game or not, because sometimes if you haven't heard anything about the game, it might be really, really good. So, I do try to figure out if it's been talked about enough. The second thing is I do a lot of research. Is it the type of game that I'm going to enjoy? That all has to go into the factor of it. First and foremost, of course. I think after all these other factors that go into it, I think the very last thing I look at is the price. Meaning the next thing on my list would probably be who made the game. You know, is it a developer that I know that I'm familiar with? Is it an indie developer? What have you? So I mean, several factors really go into my decision. I will be truthful. I used to be very